Hi all, once again welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to continue from where we left off in our last tutorial. And in last tutorial we were in material phase of our project, and we were in material phase 1. And phase 1 means we will apply all the textures that were applied or used inside 3D Studio Max scene inside Unreal Engine project, and every texture that should be applied, and every material that are made from textures, with the help of textures we'll create all those materials. After that, once we have done that, our phase 1 gets completed and we will go towards phase 2. But before going towards phase 2, what I will let you know is you have to go to Epic Launcher, and in Epic Launcher you go to Marketplace, and in Marketplace go to this search content tab or area and type here Automotive. Just type Automotive in this search bar, and you will see a suggestion that is called Automotive Materials. Click on it, and here you will see Automotive Materials. Just click on it and then download it. As you can see, I have already downloaded this, so I don't get a download option. But if you have not downloaded it already, you will see an option to download it. Just download it and add it to your hard drive or local vault. Wherever it sends, you just make sure it's on your PC. And after that, go ahead, and then once it's downloaded, just create a project from this downloaded asset. Create a project, and you can see in my library I have already created that automotive material project. So I will right click and open it. I am opening this, or I have downloaded this, and I am showing this to you all because once I used it, I find it so useful for any architectural visualization scene, because we get all sorts of material like metal, like alcantara, like leather, gold, silver, bronze, every type of metal that doesn't use any specific texture, or that takes a lots of time to figure out what's the best settings for them, all those things. And this saves a lot of time while creating our material. So what I will do is I will just I will wait for the project to open, and I will use that automotive material pack in the project. And I do try to use that automotive material pack in all of my projects to save time while creating materials. And I will show you how I use it and how I make use of that automotive material pack. So as you can see, that project is now open and the shaders are being compiled. So let the shaders compile first, and once shaders are compiled, I will let you know how to use this pack in any architectural projects. So after the shaders are compiled, we will go inside content browser and in automotive material, and in this material folder. If you can see this material folder, what we'll have to do is we'll just right click on it, and then we'll click on migrate, and then or it will migrate all these assets, and we do want these assets to be migrated. So I will just click OK, and then I will go in D drive, and then I'll go in tutorial, and then in Unreal Engine, ArcViz tutorial, and then content, and then I will select folder. Then what this will do is this will migrate all the materials that are present inside this scene into our project that we are working on, and we are on material phase on that project. So once all those materials have been exported, we can just see them here. See content, automotive materials, and then materials. So we have all those materials here present inside our project, and these metals and all those sorts of, and after that we will just start giving material which are not made of non-textures that are like metals and all those things. For that, what we'll have to do is we'll just start figuring out where we want to give that those metal materials, and then after this what we'll have to do is I will just drag and drop the materials from my automotive material pack and see which one is best suited or which one I like the most. Just try to see all the materials and figure out which one you like the most, and let me see if we have already given a reflection capture. So as I can see, we don't have any reflection captures in the scene. So first of all, what we should do is we should apply reflection captures inside the scene. So the first thing, because for materials to reflect properly, we need to have reflection captures, and as I can see, we don't have any reflection capture in the scene. So let's start giving a reflection capture. So I will go here and I will type reflection, and then there will be a sphere reflection capture, and I will see if we have a box reflection in the scene. We don't have any box reflection in the scene. So first of all, I will give a box reflection capture in the scene. Most of the time box reflection capture is more than enough, but let's see. So as you can see, as I give the reflection capture, box reflection capture inside the scene, the materials started reacting realistically. So I will just figure out which material I like the most, and the moment I am happy with the material which I want to use, what I will do is I will just right click here, and then I will create instanced material, and I will just rename it 01, and now I will use that created instance material so that I will not change or do modification in our default one, and I will just go ahead and then apply all that material on all the objects which I want to be the same. I will just go ahead and apply that selected material on all the objects which I want to be with to have that same material. And I will search gold, maybe silver. I got the silver one. Press Ctrl B, and I will apply this silver, and then I will create instance, and then I will apply this again, and then I will change this color to yellow. We will leave them as of now, because just don't worry about making them realistic, because we will make them realistic in our third phase when we will be tweaking every material individually. So as you can see, we have given this metallic material on this object. Just keep on applying that metal material which you have selected on all the objects which can use that specific material. So I am doing the same. I'm just going on and trying to apply that material on all the objects that can have that same material applied on it. And this one is the phase 2 of our material complete material process. This one is phase 2. In phase 2 means we will apply all the materials like metal, glue, and then opacity, transparent material, all those types of material we will apply in the phase 2. We will search a plastic material here, plastic, and we will apply that plastic material in here and in here. No, we apply this metal material here. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and keep applying the materials first in. And after that we will go ahead and we will optimize all the materials. So just use the materials available inside this pack. So as you can see, I think this I should use this material on it. So I will just right click, create material instance, and then 02 and then apply this material. And for these types of material, what we can do is just right click here, create material, and then we will type switch 01, and then we will apply this switch 01, and then we will open it. I will dock it and then press 3 and create a constant 3 vector, and then I will make it white, and then I will give reflection and glossiness and 0.15, and I will just make this a bit yellowish so that it's not matching with the wall color, so that you can see it or see it very easily. So just pick any side or from it and just go ahead. So just go ahead and keep applying all the materials. And just clone this material, select this material of switch, and then search it in the content browser, and then right click, duplicate it, and then type keychain underscore cabinets. We will use this automotive pack to to reduce our time of making and creating the materials which we can already find it inside this pack. And once we are doing so, we will go on create any desired material which we need to create by ourselves and which we cannot find in that metal pack, we'll just uh, create those materials by ourselves. So I just went here, and then I will go ahead and then I will make it pure white. As you can see, I am going ahead applying materials, and if I find any object that can use metal from that automotive pack, I am just figuring out which one material it can use. And if I see, if I think that if anything has to be created in a specific material and simple material, just I am going ahead and creating those simple materials. So you need to do the same. So as I can see, I think it's okay. I will select this switch material and apply on this switch, and then I will just go ahead and find a very nice material for this. Yeah, I think this one is good, so I can go ahead and then just apply this material. Oops, I'll go inside max and I'll just see what material it's this slab is using. I'm going to edit poly, and I will go and edit poly, and then I will see which ID it is. It's ID1, and on ID1 it's reflect and white color. Basically it's a metal. Then I will select this material and apply on this all these panels. I think we don't need all these panels. Let it be like that. So as I can see that all the objects in this area have been applied with the materials, and then I will come to this objects. So I should apply that cabinet material on all these panels also. I will go in automotive material, and then I will search for glass, and then control B, and then I will just right click, create instance material, and then I will, okay, I don't need to apply glass material on it. So I'll just go ahead and figure out if anything has to be applied on it. I'll make one more material, and I will name it glow underscore bulb, and then 01, and then I will apply this material on these objects, and I will just make sure I will give a constant 3 vector missing material. Okay, I will go ahead and give some metal material on these objects. Control W, and then I will. So I'm just applying that metal material on all the objects that can use that specific material. And generally my workflow always try to I just try to stick to the most simplest way of making anything. I just don't try to complicate anything which I am working on. I just try to follow the most simple way or procedure that can be used to make anything. Just go on and try to use that automated material pack as much as possible, and apply the textures. I will duplicate this because in future if I need to amend it or do something about it, I can do it very easily. I have applied that metal material on all the objects which I think can use that metal material, and I'm not bothering about the realism and anything else. Just applying at phase 2. I'm just applying the materials, and I'm not worrying about anything else, because once we will be in phase 3, our main goal will be to make the material look as realistic as possible. So since we are not in material phase 3, just go ahead and apply all the materials, and just the main goal of phase 3 will be 2 will be that all the objects inside the scene should have a specified material which they should supposed to have. And once we have all the materials needed on all the objects, we will go ahead and optimize them. I will copy this object and then I will search that object here inside my 3ds Max scene, and then I will find out the material. I will delete all the objects that are inside this wardrobe because I'm not going to open the wardrobe, so I don't want to keep these objects. I will temporarily apply a light here so that I can see inside this wardrobe very easily, and then I will delete everything I want, and I think I cannot see from outside. So if we cannot see these objects inside from outside, then I think there is no need to keep this object inside our project, and we should delete it, or we should delete them. So now I will delete this light and then Control H. So all the objects inside those have been deleted. So as you can see, I have applied metal material on all the objects that needed to be applied, and basically this project doesn't is not a very demanding project in terms of material. The material is simple and sober, nothing fancy on this. So as I think we have completed the phase 2 of material, and phase 2 of material means we will apply all the materials apart from those types of material which don't require any texture on them. That means all the objects that all the objects whose materials have to be created by using texture, then that will be coming in phase 1. and all the objects that doesn't need any specific texture for their material, then they will be coming inside the phase 2. And before phase 2, I showed you all how to so as you can see, we have given the material on almost every object of the scene. We'll just scout the scene and make sure that every object is using the materials, and after that I will just go ahead and build the light. I will just go ahead and save this file and close all these palettes because I'm going to make a light build at this stage. So after all the materials have been applied on all the objects, and after that once I have to light build, what I generally do is, just be careful on this regard, I just go inside the floors, all the floors, and then I will search this material. I will go ahead and apply that material on slot 1, and then what I will do is I will apply base material, that is white material, on the ground. And since I have applied that material in that main material inside this static mesh editor tool, once I have just click reset, then I will get that default original material. So before light building, I just change my floor material to white, and then I will light build it. So I will make sure it's on medium, and then I will make sure it's 0.65, in that lighting quality 3, and then skylight 5. Everything seems pretty okay, and I will just go in config and then base light mask INI and make sure all the settings are at default. So now I can go ahead and I can build the light and see how everything looks after the light has been built. And this will be a stage phase 2 of our material, and in our phase 3 we'll go ahead and tweak all the materials as well as possible, as nice as possible, and make all the materials as realistic as possible, and that will be phase 3 of our material. So before going to phase 3 and before ending this chapter, we'll go ahead and light build. And one more thing to be noted is this sofa material is quite dark in color, so it will not reflect the light very well or properly. So in these types of cases also, I just go ahead and then I apply that sofa material on all the objects inside the mesh editor tool. And now what I will do is I will just go ahead and apply this white material, because if I apply this white material now, Then the light, once I build the light, once I click on light build, the light will be reflected, or the light will be bouncing very nicely inside the scene. So after doing all these things, I just go ahead, I'll close these panels. I will once again save the project, and I will build the light, and after the light has been built, we will move towards our phase 3 of our material. So as you can see, the light has been built here, and everything looks very nice and proper. So we should proceed ahead towards our phase 3, and in phase 3 we will tweak all the materials and make them as realistic and as good as possible. So bye bye, see you guys in next part of tutorial. Have a nice day.